I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. Tagovailoa off the back. Tua on the move. Going deep. Speed race. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
One last time for Tua, baby. That's probably the final time that we'll ever run that video on the dive bar. We do have some cool stuff in the works. FinHub is probably going to be back hard at work getting us an intro video. But producer Eric is back on the show, baby. Nice little paternity leave. We love good benefits here at the dive bar.
We have really good benefits here at the dive bar.
Yeah. Well, let's welcome Phil Dillingham from Twitter. This is my first interaction with Phil on this level. Obviously, we follow each other on Twitter. I thought Phil was a reporter. I thought he was in the sports world. But Phil, you're not. You're just a dude who loves sports, diehard fan.
Just a fan. Dolphin
really
fan.
good analyst.
So, yeah.
Yeah, so
I've been fixing the Dolphins since 2017. So
there you go.
They just haven't listened to me that much yet. So.
You know what I always say? I'm always like, hey, if the Dolphins listen to maybe like 80% of Dolphins Twitter since at least 2017, 2016, I feel like we would be in a pretty good place. If we just took a consensus, I think we'd be doing pretty good.
I think we'd be better than pretty good.
I think we'd be AFC champions yearly.
Probably better than Chris Greer, but that's okay too. So.
That's a low bar, Phil. That's a low bar.
That's all in the past, though. All in the past.
Yeah, exactly. Phil, tell the chat, in case you guys aren't following him, give Phil a follow. He's putting out really good content. What is your handle, Phil? I'll drop it in the chat.
It's at Philip Dilling 1, I think it is, something like that. So
I'll find it right now.
They just look up Phil Dillingham, it'll pop up. So
yeah. So Phil, while Eric is doing that, you've developed a following. Again, I thought you were like in the sports world, and you're not, which is very impressive. Because you present as like a analyst, as a reporter. I really thought you were close to the field. You've built a following just based on pretty much being right, calling a lot of shots. Especially, obviously, we've had a crazy Monday. Okay, you've called a lot of the shots. So let's just start with Monday. Your reactions to what the Dolphins have done, what you thought they were going to do versus what they actually did. Let's just get your thoughts on that.
Well, I knew the number one piece had to be Malik Willis. You know, that had to be their number one guy to get the program set. All these, numbers out there, he's going to get $40 million a year, things like that. I kind of knew that was probably not true, and come to find out, they got him on a good 2-year show me deal with a 3-year out. So if he doesn't work, because they're going to have to stack in behind him, it's not going to be like give somebody 7 years like Tannehill or Tua. You got to have somebody ready to go if you've got to make that switch. So,
you know what I really like about this deal, and I see a lot of the reactions on Twitter, and kind of set the record straight, just getting into the numbers piece of it. Not too deep, but people don't realize that out of that $45 million, 22.5 was a bonus. That's paid up front out of Steve Ross' checkbook. He has an $8 million cap hit this year, which is nothing for a quarterback in this league. And then he has the second year and the third year is a void year, which is about $15 million in cap hit split up between the 2 years, probably one's more than the other. But people are saying, why did we give this big deal to the quarterback? And it's not this big deal. Like, he is playing if you took the averages of a starting quarterback in the NFL of a yearly basis, especially with the cap hit, he's almost non-existent on the books.
I think
he's probably in the 20th.
Yeah, 21st, I think I saw. I don't know why people are up in arms about that contract.
They see the numbers. They see the numbers.
Yeah, they see 47 million, or whatever, 67, whatever it is, and they freak out. But that's not how NFL contracts really work.
Where do you place Malik in terms of, are they bringing him in just because it's a professional organization. You got to have a veteran first year head coach. You got to get Halfley his sea legs in 2026. He's got a guy he's familiar with. Or do they bring him in like, hey, man, you could be the guy for the next 3 years if you want?
I think they saw him practice for 2 years, and they saw him, take live rounds against some good defenses like Baltimore and the Bears. And if you watch all that tape, it was pretty impressive. The weather was bad. He's somebody that can travel and play in the weather now. I just think in a world where, NFL quarterback, having them produce later on in their careers, there's not a lot of that. They usually, like Tennessee, just moved on from him real quick. And, he's grown. He's grown into a starting quarterback. So I'm excited to see what he brings.
I didn't realize how big of a guy Malik Willis was until I saw some of that footage of him throwing. By the way, just so I'm not going to mention any names, just so some quarterbacks know, you can voluntarily go and work out before mandatory report. Malik Willis didn't get arrested. He didn't get fined by Roger Goodell. He's all good. Nothing bad is going to happen to him. Just saying, you could get out there and get to work.
I'm glad you said it. I wouldn't have been as eloquent with it. Did you see the Cam Wolf story from earlier today?
What was that?
So basically, Malik is working with his QB coach, and they practice every Monday at like 12 p.m. So his coach was like, "Oh, like, do we need to like adjust our schedule for Monday because like free agency and whatnot?" He's like, "No, we're not going to adjust it. Like, if my agent calls or whoever calls, like I'll pick up the phone and answer it, and like we'll get right back to practicing." So he was literally on the field with his coach at 11:15 a.m. yesterday. Started practicing, got a couple calls, like talked to his agent for like 5-10 minute bursts. And then he decided like, as he was practicing that, like, yeah, he's coming to Miami. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. Yeah. And then he got right on McAfee, from the practice field, like sweaty as all hell, like got on McAfee and like, yeah, he's like super well-spoken, like just really humble, excited to be here and just like be himself. So like it's a nice change of pace.
Yeah, we need a gym rat to be quarterback, so lead the way in that regard. So
yeah, and Cam Wolf was saying also like working with that quarterback coach, I think it's McAvoy or something like that. That he's really like honed in on his mechanics and like becoming more accurate. And like the tape shows that, like, obviously limited sample size, but like they're live rounds and like the tape is the tape, we've all seen much worse tape and the Dolphins have taken risks on, a lot worse tape. So like, I really don't understand why people are like so upset.
It's they say the record is 0-2, but if you watch the game, they didn't lose because of him. They almost won because of him. So you got to take some things into consideration because he was moving it up and down the field, Was it perfect? Backup quarterbacks coming in. What other backup quarterbacks have come in and looked that good?
None.
Any teams, not at all. So
none. Joe's finally here, sir.
Hey.
There he is.
All right. The diaper has been changed. The baby has been fed. Philip Dillingham is in the freaking building. How you doing, buddy?
Hey, doing well.
We're on the topic of Malik Willis.
Yes, I was watching, so I am abreast on the conversation. I really liked what Phil was saying because I feel like it was something that I was harping on as well, is the fact that nobody knows these guys or Malik Willis better than these guys, right? You're not going to find anybody in the world who knows how he trains, how he practices, how he prepares for games, how he goes about his daily business better than these guys. So I feel like there was a lot of fans who kind of gave some reprieve on it and kind of like pushed back on the Malik Willis. Listen, we can't hold the fact that Tua is owed so much money over Malik Willis's head. Right now, he's paid as the 22nd or 23rd.
21st, something in that ballpark.
Like that, where is exactly where he needs to be. He's still on a prove-it kind of mission right now, and he's here to work. And at the end of the day, we have to have faith in the new regime. We're just scarred, bro. We're scarred from this Chris Greer stuff. Like, we really are.
And like, I get the fans that are like upset, like, oh, like we're gonna mess up our tank and like there's no off seasons in the NFL. Like franchises are not like, oh, like next year, like whatever, we'll just kick. Like that doesn't exist. That's not how they operate. So like they were never just gonna punt on 2026 with a brand new GM and a brand new head coach. Like that's not a thing. Like, and then like the Quinn Ewers thing, like yeah, cute story. Like I guess he looked like passable in those few games, but like be for real. Like people like Malik Willis is gonna be, if nothing else, exciting. Like that what. People are going to change their tune real quick. That first game when he gets pressured right at him and he just spins out of that thing and picks up 20 yards with ease. Like people are going to be like, oh, okay. Like this is
teams
fun.
are going to have to play him completely the opposite of the way they played Tua. You know, Tua's accuracy and everything. But if you got him to move any or anything like that, then it was Malik will be out the door. You're going to have a spy on him every play. So it's going to
which opens the middle of the field.
Yeah, it better be a fast spy too, because
yeah,
so
Achan's gonna feed off of that for sure. So.
Oh, 100%. I'm actually excited to have you on, Phil, because I really wanted to dive in. Now that we kind of had a couple of signings here, I really wanted to dive into like the free agency and like who do you think is going to fit best for us in the free agency. It's hard to tell right now because we really don't have any money. But I did see you mention some restructuring today. I kind of want you to go into that and what do you think is going to happen?
I mean, the thing about it is right now the bad spots are edge rush. I mean, we have one guy who's an injury-prone player as well. So, I mean, they've got to bring in a couple of guys, and where their cap number is now, they won't be able to bring in anybody.
Mm-hmm.
There'll be a couple of cheaper guys that they can bring in, but they're going to come with, injury risk, things like that. They're going to be on prove-it deals too. So, and they'll be able to supplement in the draft because I think you can get some real good edge rushers in this draft, but then you're going to have to get a safety because, Minka's gone. Then you're going to have to get, wide receiver because we've got some, but we need that true number 2 big receiver to go, with Waddle. So there's still some moves to be made, I believe.
And
yeah,
don't we have to get
Wingo
Go ahead.
Sorry. I was going to say Wingo kind of lucked out. He had a business meeting that he couldn't be here. And, he does represent Minka Fitzpatrick, and I had some questions for him. And he was able to get out of this one. So, maybe next time.
Well, he did come on with me for the breaking news video, which we deleted because it came out like crap. But it was fun nonetheless. Yeah. Regardless, he did say that Minka was a little frustrated, more about the move than he was anything else. What question did you have for him? He might have answered it.
Basically, what I was like, what are his feelings about it, his family's feelings? I know that they're all in Florida right now. Making that move from Florida. I mean, it's not like from Florida to Tampa. It's Florida to New Jersey.
Yeah, I think honestly the contract helped. I know Minka was happy with the money he got.
Yeah.
As that's probably like his last big payday. You know what I
mean? It's a good motivator.
Money helps.
But as far as the move goes, yeah, they were pretty frustrated about it. Especially, I know he said his mom was pretty frustrated. So, I mean, again, everybody else is down here. I know he's got a brother that plays down here, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, St. Thomas.
Yeah.
So yeah, of course, everybody wants to stay in the backyard, and he just moved. But unfortunately, this is what happens with new GMs. I'm sure Phil knows. Like, we have no ties to Minka because the new GM has no ties to Minka. So he's got to do what's best for the Miami Dolphins now, which is beautiful to hear for once.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they had to free that up to give the money to Willis to pick him up. So I think the quarterback piece is the most important thing. Safeties, things like that. Minka's great, and we kind of gave him away to the Jets, but we got rid of that money so we could make some moves. But it's a good safety draft. So if you need safety, this is the draft to go after.
There are many
safeties.
Oh my God, there's so many. But Phil, let me ask you. So say we miss out on Caleb Downs at 11, right? He goes to Cincinnati or something. Where in the draft would you start locating that safety to draft?
I always seem to find good safeties like in the 3rd, 4th round. That's where if you find guys that have production that match up with physicality, that translate into an NFL safety. Those are 2 things that that I don't pass on. If they're physical and they get turnovers, those are the type of safeties I want. Production has to speak because there's a lot of safeties they they're physical and stuff like that, but they just don't get the turnovers.
Right.
So
Now, in that group in the third and fourth, I think Eric was about to say the same thing. In that group, like, do you have a group of like maybe 3 to 5 guys that you're really eyeing out?
yeah, the LSU guy, he may go in the second, but
Halsey.
He's
Halsey,
nasty.
he's
He
physical.
fits that bill,
and
physical.
yeah, and he's a ball magnet too. That he's kind of, it overshadows, his physicality, but he's got a few interceptions as well. There were guys down at the Senior Bowl that pretty impressive stuff like that. But I think safety, let me look at my list. I got to see who I have here.
Well, I think you got.
Right?
I actually follow Phil pretty diligently. You see what I did there? Bud Clark was a guy from the Senior Bowl. I heard you talking
Clark,
about a lot.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you're definitely going to get a lot of turnovers with him. Of course, his testing is going to move him up more into that second, third. But the second and third, that's if you sit right in that spot, that's where you can get a high level safety.
Yeah, for sure.
Now, but you can also get an edge rusher there too. So luckily, we got a couple picks there. So.
See, that's the thing, guys. Is there's so many damn holes. It's it's almost like it's a can't miss situation for Sully, because like you're gonna have a player of need plus best player available almost every pick the first 3-4 rounds.
Correct.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you still need O-line too. I mean, there's a lot of pieces that need to come. I mean, they'll have guys that make the team, undrafted guys this year for sure, more than usual.
I mean, if Maui Go is not there at 11, I think you forego that offensive line until the third round, because you got guys like Rutledge, there that are going to be there in the third round, which I think can fill in fine for this team.
Jalen Farmer from Kentucky.
Farmer.
Love Jalen
Farmer is a match for them 100%. So
it's Jake Slaughter. You have these guys that are going to be in that third round.
You can find guards in the later rounds for sure.
Sure.
But
interior guys.
How do you feel about Vega, the Penn State guard?
A lot of similarities to Booker. I think Booker was a higher rated player, but I think this draft dictates that may push him up a little bit. I think this is a weaker draft at the top end. I think a lot of these guys, if they were in next year's draft, they'd be talking about back half of the first round, because I think next year is going to be loaded with players. Because a lot of these guys, they may have production, but then their measurables are not what they need to be. When you're talking about, your edge rushers, they're smaller, but I mean, they're still very, very good. But, Simmons, if he was in this draft, would be talked about being the number one player, the guy get out of Texas, because he matches up physically with what the NFL wants. So I think.
And I feel like there's a lot of tweener edges this year, which scares the living shit out of me, Phil, man.
We already got one of those.
Yeah, those like 6'3", 245.
They're all 6'3". That's the thing. They want
like,
6'5" and 6'6", but they're all 6'3" this year.
I did notice somebody who is more on that 6'5", 6'6", Keldrick Falk. I noticed he didn't have a really good day at the combine. I'm off of him personally. Kind of wanted your view on him at 11.
Same thing. We're in the same ballpark there. I think he has the measurables, but the production isn't there from him either. You know what I mean? You would see that jump, especially because I don't know who was taking, double teams off of him. I mean, he got some, but he should have been tearing it up there at Auburn. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't take him. I would take someone else.
I think honestly, like doing so many.
I love our chat, dude.
Yeah, like that's the one player that would bother me. It would
no offense
really
to him. I hope he's a great player, and I hope he makes me wrong. But when I stick to my formula and what I see in the tape, that's what I stick with. And if I see certain things that I don't like, then I'll move on to someone else. So maybe Bailey will fall to us. If he does, I'm ready.
That would be a.
How do you feel about Ruben
Actually,
Bailey?
I do want to touch on Bailey there, because we even on the podcast, even like Bobby's not here, obviously, but we're kind of split on Bailey. Some think that he's going to be like that boomer bust, like kind of like that Chop Robinson pick.
I don't know.
Or is he like a real deal edge rusher?
I think he's the real deal, but I think you got to measure the off the field stuff with him, kind of like they did with Pierce last year.
Yeah.
I think that may make him fall to us. I don't know, but on tape, physical, I mean, he is a monster. I think he'll be the defensive rookie of the year.
So what does he have off the field that would hold him back from getting
You
drafted
just
in
hear
that
some
3,
things.
4?
You hear personality things like that. But I mean,
Yeah,
I
he's
don't have any
6'4",
concrete
250.
information. So, and I'm not trying to get him to fall to the Dolphins. I hope he goes second overall because
Makes it easier at 11.
Not to the Jets. No. We don't want the Jets getting him.
hey,
No, they're getting Arvo.
The chat actually just asked a really good question, and it kind of opens up the dialogue for cornerback talk, right? Because I personally, I feel like drafting a cornerback in the first round scares the living shit out of me, just because I feel like this draft is so deep, and I feel as if Mansour Delane might be CB1, but CB5, that's not that big of a gap for me personally, right? Kind of wanted to get your thoughts on it, Phil.
yes, he is my CB1 just because, I mean, if you want somebody that's going to lock somebody down, that's him. He's physical enough, but he's not like overwhelmingly physical. But
Right.
But then again, you can find somebody, later on, the Tacario Davis out of Washington via
tested well.
Arizona.
Tested really well.
Kid like that's 6'3" and big, and I like big, tall cornerbacks for some reason. So, you can find starters in the second, third, fourth round this year, I believe, at cornerback as well.
Go ahead, Eric, by the way.
Oh, I was just going to say Tacario Davis made himself some coin at the combine because he tested off the charts. So he definitely made himself some coin. Have you dug into McCoy?
I've watched McCoy's stuff, the injury stuff, from last year. I don't like getting a guy coming off an injury like that. It kind of spooks me. I used to not worry about injuries at all now, and his tape doesn't move me like I think Delaney's tape moves me better. That's why I have him at 1. But he's got traits. He's a good cornerback, but I have other guys that I kind of have stacked in there better. And I'll come out with my list closer to the draft of who I have. It'll be completely different than other people's. So
that's always fun to compare and contrast with people's lists, especially the professionals list. You're like, yep, he missed on him.
Well, they're moved by agents and things like that too. So there's
a
whole web of things with that with the NFL guys. So
before we moved off to Tacario, have you been able to break down some film on him?
Yes, everything when he was at Arizona, which I liked his Arizona tape probably better than his Washington tape, but yes, I've been on him for a couple of years, and that's kind of how my system goes too. I'll have guys that have been around for a couple of years, like Bud Clark. I've been watching him for it seems like he's been in school for 6 years, but when they really pop as young players, and then they end up staying longer, you got to go back to those names and go, oh yeah. Corleone at the defensive tackle, he's been at Cincinnati since
Dude, what a name. Dante Corleone, the Godfather, bro.
Yeah. So, I mean, you got to pull those names back up and say, okay, how have they evolved, or have they went backwards, or things like that? What's happened with them? Because if they impress you with that tape at first, you got to go back to it. You can't just go off of what they did this year, which is important because, but you got to factor injuries, things like that too. So.
And the chat brought up another good name at a cornerback, probably like in the second round, possibly target Chris Johnson.
Yeah, I like him.
You a fan, Phil?
He was at the Senior Bowl. He's one of the better corners at the Senior Bowl as well. Yeah, he's on my list as well. So I like him.
Nice. And that's
sorry. Go ahead,
Eric. You're not going to cut me off twice on this damn question, sir.
I'm sorry.
We were talking about edges and like just being kind of smaller in their measurables and stuff. And I just wanted to ask, how do you feel about Ruben Bain? Because some people are saying that he could slide. And I think if he's at 11, that's a home run. You just sprint that card up there and you don't look back.
Oh, if he's at 11, yeah. I mean, he's definitely one of my top 10, probably one of my top 5 players in this draft, because you just go off of film and he's hard to block. And he has been since he arrived at Miami too. I mean, he's been that way the whole time. Pretty consistent. He's been learning from Taylor, so he's got some moves down. Even if they kick him inside, most of the time, or some of the time, he's going to do damage in there. I don't want to see guards have to deal with that dude. So.
Yeah, I feel like he's pretty good at stopping the run also. for being a true edge. If he falls, I mean, I think that's a no-brainer. All right, Ghost, go ahead.
Since we were talking about safety and now we're like on the defensive backs and all that, I know that you said you do like Halsey, and that would probably be around the third round. If Warren, because obviously Downs is going to be gone in the first round. He's probably going to be gone first 10 picks. He may not even make it to 11. I won't even ask you for him at 11, but in the second round, would you spend that second round pick on Warren from Toledo? Or would you go like an Anthony Hill linebacker? Would you go edge rusher? What would you do there?
I like Warren, but I don't love Warren. Same way with Downs. Some of the things I see in him, I'm not as high as a lot of other people are with him. I still think he's going to be a good player, but I think if between him and say Bain or something like that, I'm definitely going Bain. So, and probably the tackle from There's a lot of guys I would take over that safety in the first round.
I'm talking about even that second round pick if Warren is there.
I'm not. I'd probably take the LSU guy over him.
Okay.
So
I think something interesting about the LSU guy is like we don't know any of his measurables. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that might help him slide.
Yeah, but his physicality is I really like that in a safety. And Thomas from later on, later rounds, Jacoby Thomas from Miami.
Yeah, I don't know how he's ranked
I'm
so low.
I'm gonna make him a Miami Dolphin if I'm running things somehow, some way. He's gonna be on my team because he's gonna be the enforcer in the back half.
Yeah, I mean it's unbelievable how low he's ranked for his production this year. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I'll take it if we can get him in the fifth.
Yeah, you never know what they're going through, but I saw Tate from Ohio State. He was getting alligator arms when he knew Thomas was coming around him. And I mean that'll happen in the league too. They'll be like, I don't want any part of this guy. So
the Brian Thomas Jr. effect.
Yeah. This is kind of a no-brainer, Stagger. This one's easy. Who would you guys take here?
I'm taking Bain.
Bain.
Oh.
Do you see Bain kind of
Wait, Ghost, who are you taking?
I would take Maui Go there. I know
I agree.
That's the sexy pick.
I'm with you. I'm taking CC there all day. All day.
Yeah.
I'm with you. What were you going to ask?
I was going to say, because you did say something interesting, is Bain playing at like the 5 and possibly even the 3 position there. If he were to get that starting role, I mean, you could say for Miami, anywhere in the league. Do you see a lot of his snaps coming from like that 5 and even that 3 position?
Yeah, I think he's physical enough, and I think he will be a matchup nightmare, inside for people, and then they'll move him around a lot, I believe. So.
Yeah, I mean, Joe's our resident Canes fan, so he should know, but I'm pretty sure that Miami moved him around all over the place. He was just a menace, like every game. It didn't matter who you were playing. Like
guys that you can't single up, those are the guys that you want,
Yeah.
Throughout time, you see guys, like Derek Brown, people like that. He wasn't blocked by one dude when he was at Auburn the whole time he was there. It's just guys like that. Those are the type guys that at the next level, That's why I think I've seen him singled up so much and handled. I'm like, I'll pick other people around him. So I don't know.
It's almost like you're using him like Calais Campbell, like kind of like how we did, especially in his later years.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bain's just so powerful. Like it doesn't he just moves people. He just eats blocks. Since we brought up go ahead, Joe.
No, I was gonna ask I didn't really follow Phil as much last draft, right? So I kind of wanted your perspective and what was your analysis on Jonas Avenea before the draft? Like, were you high on him?
Yes, I was high on him during the season. And then I kind of cooled off on him at the Senior Bowl because I think he underperformed at the Senior Bowl.
Okay.
So his tape at Arizona was good, but then at the Senior Bowl they were moving him around a lot. I think he might have played just about every position there was, but left tackle, and he kind of struggled a little bit, especially in the one-on-ones down in Mobile. Kind of moved him back a little bit, but I still like him, and I think, with the different coaching staff and things like that, I think not everybody comes out the same way. You know, Patrick Paul, people were talking bad about him after he had to go up against Myles Garrett a couple of times, and they were like, "Oh, this guy's not going to be any good." And then this year, he's kind of grown and grown. Sometimes it's up to the player. You know, they draft him for a reason, and then they've got to evolve. You know, so
Yeah.
hopefully.
What do you think about Kamari Ramsey? I know that we kind of went past the safeties, but he's another one that you can bring into the conversation.
The USC guy.
Yeah.
He's from South. Southern Cal.
Yep.
Yeah, good production. Wish he was a little bit more physical, but he's not physical, you know what I'm saying? But if you have him, I feel like you got to have somebody else like Thomas back there with you, or somebody that's going to be the enforcer part of the safety combo, you know what I mean?
He's more taking that free safety role.
Yeah, for sure.
That's why, I mean, if Downs is there, it would be real hard to pass that up too. But I don't think there's a world where like that we're gonna have that difficult of a choice with like that many blue chips making it to 11. It's like somebody has to take the Simpson ahead of us to like for one of those guys to fall, I think.
There's a couple tackles that can go. If a tackle run happens, I could see like a specialty position like Caleb Downs falling to us.
Yeah.
We would need what, CC and then Fano and then the guy from Georgia, Freeling, all to go.
Yeah. Which he's skyrocketed after this combine as well.
He made himself some coin, and he's big.
How do you feel about Freeling, Phil?
Yeah, he's solid. Going back to Downs, though, Downs' medicals were bad at the combine, right?
No, it came out that was fake.
Him or something?
It came out that was like that wasn't a real like that report was like defuted. Like it came out that he had like degenerative knees or something like that, or something along those lines. But then it like was refuted, like not an accurate report. So I think
There's
it's
so much
okay,
stuff out there.
That might be agent work.
Yeah, some team trying to get him to slide down to him, stuff like that. So who knows?
I mean, he'd be a home run. A home run.
Yeah, the first round, there are like 10 or 11 guys, and if all those guys, I mean, if this was next year and we were at 11, I'd feel a lot better about it. But you know,
yeah, eight would feel a lot better right now.
Yeah,
a couple pointless wins there really did it to us.
Yeah, we tend to do that.
You know, we haven't dove into quarterbacks yet, Phil, and I feel obliged to because I do feel like they're still going to draft a quarterback this year, whether it be in the 7th. I know we got that extra 7th from the Jets as well, which is kind of fun to play with.
For a kicker.
I've seen that you were pretty high on Cole Payton, if I'm not
Yes.
mistaken.
Yeah,
kind of wanted you to sell the chat on Cole Payton, why he's the man that you think could be a sleeper in the draft.
He was the best quarterback at the Senior Bowl in my eyes, and I was there on the ground watching them. And I specifically went there to see a few of the guys and see how their balls looked and see how they threw, you know, to receivers. And he impressed me more than anybody else. And you really didn't see the physical side of him because he could run the ball. You see on his tape, he is a threat to run the ball as well. I think he kind of fits more what Miami's going to start doing as well too. So, but I would take him, and if he was there in the second round, I would take him.
Oh wow.
Ooh.
Yeah.
In the second round.
That would send our fans into a frenzy.
That is a take
That's
right
a
there,
nice
folks.
hot take there.
Yeah.
I'm definitely gonna follow that.
Daniel Jeremiah is high on him too. If you look at his stuff, he saw the same things. Usually, if you the best quarterbacks at Mobile, they kind of translate to, you know, starting quarterbacks kind of in the league. At least maybe they don't last a long time, but I feel like he was the best down there. So
you know what's so crazy is that I was trying not to love him at the combine when they were throwing because he's a lefty and I just have a little PTSD. But literally nobody else had zip like him, man. Like this kid, effortless zip, and he's a big boy.
it comes out so fast, and you know, I was watching Green and I was watching all of them. But I kept focusing on him and going back to him because it was just coming out fast, accurate. Yeah, I think he's the real deal.
And he's got some wheels on him.
He's a unit. He's a unit. He's a big man.
Yeah, he's got a big lower trunk.
Yeah,
man.
his legs are big. He can take some hits, I believe. So
that guy
It's a good question from the chat here. Is he stepped away for a minute, but Is there any world where you consider Sadiq from Oregon or Tyson from Arizona State there at 11? Any world?
Tyson, yes.
Tyson,
Really?
yes.
Even with all the injuries?
Yeah.
What's your
His tape moves me. I've been watching him for a few years.
What's your Tyson comp? Like a realistic comp here? Because I've seen everything from like Braylon Edwards to like Plaxico Burress.
Oh,
that's old school right there.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe London, maybe. But he's not as big as London, but he kind of plays the same type of game.
Yeah.
And I was high on him coming out too. So,
well, Sadiq boosted his stock massively at
oh my God.
He put on 3.
He's about the only. There was only a couple of tight ends in this group that it's a down year for tight ends. So,
yeah.
Is there any
last
that you
year
like?
would have been the year to get more tight ends. So,
any tight ends you do like though?
I like the kid from Stanford, Roush.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like 265. He can block. You look at his tape, you really dig into his tape, he will block. And I mean, he had some drops this year, but it seems like he's open a lot, kind of can stretch the field a little bit. So, especially mid rounds, I would be jumping all over him. He tested very well too, so that'll probably push him up maybe to the 4th, maybe even further up. But you never know until they start picking him, So
Kyle Krabs is a big fan of his. Kyle Krabs talks about him all the time. Big fan of his.
Yeah.
Roush.
What's your thoughts on Max Clare from Ohio State?
That's what I was going to ask.
Yeah, another good blocker. We're going to have somebody that blocks because we don't have anybody right now, do we?
Yeah, Dulcich ain't going to do it.
So
he kind of reminds me of Michael Mayer from Oakland.
Claire and the kid out of Texas A&M. He can block as well. Looking at the tape, I can't remember his name. He was down in Mobile, but there are a lot of guys that I'll pick over those guys. You know what I mean? Safety wise, guard wise, stuff like that. So
yeah,
it's going to be interesting to see who's available at certain spots. So
yeah, I've had this obsession for the last couple of years on getting a guard with a mullet.
I was just about to ask about him. Go ahead.
And I'm still all in on a mullet boy and Jennings Dunker. I mean, listen, I get it. The guy's wearing 3 knee braces. But man, there's something about that tenacity that we need down here. I kind of wanted your thoughts on him.
Oh, he's definitely on my list. He's down in Mobile. You kind of can see different things. You can see who the leaders of each group are and things like that. And if something happened to an offensive lineman like his other guy, the other kid from Iowa, got like bulldozed by the Florida State kid.
Oh, Bo Stevens?
You could see Dunker. He took offense to that, and then he was charging his other guys up like, no, we're not going to take any of that. Let's go. And played right tackle and right guard. They didn't move him to the left any, but if you want to solidify your right side, Jennings Dunker is a guy that you need to put the little highlighter on when you're looking at the draft board when it comes around. So.
And how early is somebody going to be taking him, you think?
He tested better than people were saying he was going to test. You never know. I've seen second round, but 3, 4 maybe.
Yeah.
There may be those little things in there that we don't know anything about, but I would definitely him, Farmer. There are a few other guys that
Craig Nahn from Oregon's another. I like him.
I would not mind
count off my
42.
top 5 interior linemen. Those are the guys that I want for sure.
Yeah, man. I guess because we've lacked in the O-line category so much, I've become obsessed with the O-linemen of college now and just following them and trying to find those guys that I would just love to have. And another guy that nobody. He got a little bit talked about, but Cade Barnett is another nasty boy.
Oh yeah. He was at the East-West Shrine, and he was putting in some good tape there, too. So, the Vanilla Gorilla is what they call him.
I love that.
That's a pretty darn good
he's
nickname.
Solid. He's solid.
Dude, there's some good nicknames. I think the other one is Dominique Orange, the Big Citrus.
Yeah.
That's another one.
That's a good
somebody in
one.
the chat just brought him up. How funny.
We talk about Big City, yeah.
He's got solid tape, too, so.
Yeah, man. I think this is it's a deep draft in certain position groups, right? And in certain position groups, like you said earlier, like tight ends a little thinner, quarterback super thin. I was in love with Sawyer Robertson until the combine. And
Somebody
I
asked
don't
me
even
that.
know. I swear to you guys, I was all in. I watched tape on him. When I seen him throw at the combine, it almost looked like he was injured. Something was off, and I kind of wanted your thoughts before the combine on Sawyer and maybe post combine.
When he was in Mobile, it seemed like everything he was throwing from the mid to deep were all high. Everything was high. So I don't know if he's got something going on, lower leg or something like that. But and it was windy and it was a good test for the quarterbacks, but it seemed like you could definitely tell that things were sailing on him a little bit more. So I don't know. And then going back to Peyton, he actually had a broken thumb right before and had like screws in his thumb, and then went to Mobile and still was the most impressive quarterback.
Damn it, Phil!
So
You keep selling us on this kid.
he's a tough dude. The left-hander too. You got to. There's a video out there of him throwing right-handed. You know where they flip it all.
Yeah.
It's like he's right-handed. Watch that video, and then you'll be like, okay, I'm sold on him because that tape's pretty good. So
I don't know if I could do another lefty. I don't know if I have it in me.
Waddle's never had a right-handed quarterback.
Is that
true.
crazy?
Or
Crazy.
did he have 1 year in Alabama? Did he have?
Yeah,
one? I don't remember.
he played with Mac Jones, right? 1 year.
Yeah, and
Maybe 1 year with
Yeah, Mac Jones
but
and
he's
Smitty,
caught a
right?
lot of left-handed throws in his time.
Yeah.
So
Maybe that's what's been holding him back.
different spin.
Not that he's been held back, but you know what I mean.
Not that he's been held back.
I mean, dude, I am excited because like I know we talked about Malik Willis a little earlier, but man, you're talking about somebody who's going to be extending a play to those 3 second, 4 seconds where Waddle's going to be able to be an athlete and kind of get that street vibe. And he hasn't been able to do that because Tua has been such a time rep thrower of the football. It's like nobody, if the first second read was never available, like the play was dead, there was nothing else. Like, I don't think people are really appreciating that Malik Willis has a rocket arm when he runs a 4.3. Like, I'm still thinking about it. And if we get a big body receiver in this draft that matches Waddle, I don't think we're tanking. I don't think we're tanking at all this year. I think maybe
Here it starts.
Phil, maybe you can kind of elaborate on it. The Malik Willis move just went out and told everybody, fuck off. We're not tanking. We're going to play football this year. We're going to compete every day.
Well, when you're dealing with a bunch of pros, are you going to tell Waddle, I know your career, it keeps going further and further, but we're just going to chill this year and not try to do anything. These guys are the ultimate competitors in the ultimate competitive sport. There are no years off. There's no, we'll get them next year. I mean, you build a program, yes, and you're going to have more pieces and more things to add to the program next year. But, I mean, Seattle, was it anybody going to say, Seattle, they're going to be, Super Bowl champs? They didn't have last year. They didn't have Sam Darnold. They didn't have a quarterback to speak of. They had Geno. They were probably kind of just a second thought. They had a great defense, but there's other ways to do things in the NFL than just passing it up and down the field. Good defense and ball control, running the football when it gets cold. That's what you need. So
that first triple option with Achane and Malik is going to be. It's gonna feed the hungry.
And the thing is like when all the Malik Willis tape is in the cold in a windy conditions, it's like you guys aren't appreciating the little things right now that we've been lacking.
We'll see what happens, but he can play in bad environments. He's evolved as a quarterback. That's what you want in a league that doesn't have a QB pipeline of evolution. You know what I mean? Some of them they just get discarded and then they just float around. I mean, Sam Darnold kind of was in that position, right? I mean, he was bounced to San Francisco, really didn't do anything, and then he started getting chances again, and they grow, and they were high picks for a reason, and then they gotta develop. They got to develop. So,
and the situation,
We did get a question in the chat. I'm not sure if you have any insight on it because I don't know the answer to this. Is if we're cap compliant by tomorrow, which is the cap compliancy date, are we able to overspend after Wednesday going into the season?
I have no idea about that.
No idea.
I know they have to be down during that time frame, but then I don't know if they have to stay there or not. I think they have to stay there, but I'm not 100% on that. So
Yeah,
nothing
That's above,
signed
that's
right
above
now
all
until
of our
tomorrow,
pay
right?
grades.
I'm pretty sure we have to be cap compliant tomorrow. So I don't think we are right now. I think we're slightly over. So there's moves that have to be made. Like we could see an extension coming through. I don't think there's many more levers to like pull.
Phil brought up 3 levers, I think, today, right?
Yeah, Achane, Brooks, and Brewer.
Right.
You know,
No brainers.
yeah.
That Brewer contract is going to be steep after that bag that Linderbaum got from the Raiders. Because
Man.
Brewer's an all-pro. I mean, his agent's going to look at Tyler Linderbaum and say, hey, he's got 3 for 81. I mean, it's going to have to be close.
What can you do for me?
But Brewer's getting better
year
after year after year. This was his best year. Maybe he's first team All-Pro next year, so you're going to pay more than you would if you did it now, right? So
yeah, no, I'm just saying it's going to be where the people are going to. I think they'll be shocked at that price tag when we do extend him because it's going to be up there. It has to be.
Achane's going to get a lot of money too. So
yeah, that's what I'm afraid of. Is I think Achane's going to get a lot of money.
Third
And
round,
I'm afraid to pay a running back that much money. I know he's special, but boy, am I afraid.
5th round pick, right?
Achane was a 3rd
3.
round, no?
He was 3.
3rd?
Yeah.
I thought Achane wasn't he the 2nd or was he 3rd?
I thought he was 3rd. I think Jalen Wright was a 2nd, no?
Yeah.
Or maybe we got it mixed up.
Did I flip-flop him?
84th overall. What is that? 3rd round?
That's 3rd round.
That's 3rd, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I mean, he's not going to get. Who recently got a running back?
Cook from Buffalo. His will look a lot like Cook from Buffalo.
And he showed out for that contract too, especially this year.
Yeah.
I mean, who would you want to extend first? Like who, like in priority, like who do you think we need to extend first? Because like I can go.
I think he's saying all 3 of those guys need to get taken care of.
Oh, for sure. But like, if we have to make a mover, like one move, like who are you extending first?
Probably Brewer.
Yeah, I would.
Yeah,
there's a lot of teams that have center problems in the NFL. It's a hard position to get a really, really good one. I mean, you can get a guy, but to get somebody at that level that works within the offense that Miami's going to run, he's a solid player. He's an overachiever too. Tennessee gave up on him.
Yeah.
Then he comes to here and he just keeps getting better and better and better. Same way with
Tennessee
Brooks.
also traded away AJ Brown, so we'll take that with a grain of salt.
And other GMs on our
Seattle
staff
got rid of him, and then he comes here and he keeps getting better and better and better. So I don't know.
Yeah,
we'll see. I'm not into the money. I'm into talent acquisition.
There you go.
That's
good. That's a good place to be.
Fill in behind them. So
I'll give you the guy and make it work.
Do you have any other like free agent targets that we might be in play for?
Azeez Ojulari, I want him as an edge rusher.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because his price tag's not going to be overwhelming because he's kind of battled some injuries and he kind of went to Philly and kind of got lost in the sauce a little bit there with Jalen Phillips coming. But I think that he could really, really, on the other side of chop and passing downs, he can get there in a hurry. I think that he'll be a problem if they pick him up. So,
I mean, that's another route you could go to at least hold over the edge position. Because right now, I mean, I think it's just Chop Robinson. Like Quentin Bell, he's a free agent right now.
Yeah.
Right?
Cameron Good, they'll probably move him to like that edge.
Good.
So even the depth guys aren't technically really part of this roster. And I would love to get one of the guys, either in the 2nd or 3rd rounds. But
Danny Dennis Sutton, baby. Bring him home.
Danny Dennis Sutton. And the kid, obviously, kid from UCF. Who am I thinking of?
Malachi.
Yeah.
Yes, Malachi.
Zion from Missouri. I mean, there's some options.
Yeah.
But you can always go free agency too, and get a guy hold over. It's not going to cost a lot of money. But I really do feel like overall this is going to. I mean, 5 picks in the first 100 picks of the NFL draft. It's going to give us a really good look at how well this front office can evaluate talent, what they prioritize when they're evaluating talent, and simply if it's going to work out. I mean, this is a huge draft. I mean, they do have I wouldn't call it a treasure chest. I wouldn't call it like Chris Greer's 2020, 2021 even.
I had to bring that up.
But it's a small treasure chest. They have a small little treasure. 5 shots at the top 100 players in the NFL draft. Let's see what we got.
I think the most important part is we have the most of our picks in the heart of the draft, in my opinion. Phil brought up a good point earlier. Like the first round's kind of weird this year, but that second, third, and fourth, man, there's some players.
Yeah.
Another edge that I wanted to get your thoughts on. Not sure if you even watched some tape on him yet, but somebody who's a little bigger, because I've been kind of eyeing out the 6'5" guys instead of the 6'3" guys, right?
Yeah.
So Anthony Lucas from USC, his frame is ridiculous. Haven't watched film on him yet. I was kind of wondering if you had.
I've seen a little bit. I don't know if he's got the production piece of it. I can't remember what his sacks are for the year, but he's very smooth moving. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say that he's violent in his movements, but he has some physicality. But I would worry more about the banging that he gets and stuff like that, being that size.
Right.
You know, when you take the kid from Missouri and you put his tape on and you see both, you know what I mean? That's what I would put ahead of the USC guy. That, and I kept watching that 6'7" linebacker Gentry for
oh my
USC.
Goodness. Yes.
I eyes kept going to him. He was all over the place, man.
Breaking news: the Baltimore Ravens backed out of the trade for Max Crosby.
How does that happen?
What?
Mike Ross,
I guess it's
just
not
now.
Wednesday yet.
And
that's
it says
crazy.
We will have no further comment at this time.
That is wild. That's kind of unprecedented. I don't remember the last time that's happened.
There was some player that decided to not go somewhere, but I can't remember teams doing that. Who was it that decided to go somewhere else was it last year or the year before?
Oh, I think there was like 2 last year that they were like supposed to sign and they just like backed out.
Like, no,
well, they weren't really officially announced though. Like you had the Ayuk saga with Pittsburgh and San Francisco.
What happens to Crosby? I'm sorry, this is like
that's pretty big news.
The Raiders just spend so much money. Like what?
It had to be something with the financials for tomorrow. That's crazy.
Are they going to be able to get under the cap, bringing him back with his contract?
Yeah, this might be one of the craziest things that ever happened.
If any of the other ones have to go away,
it could have been a failed physical.
Contracts. Oh, he failed.
Okay,
no. This is speculation. This is speculation.
Okay.
I mean, it says the verbiage is have backed out of our trade.
Who backed out? The Ravens?
The Baltimore Ravens have backed. This was posted by the Ravens. Baltimore Ravens have backed out of our trade. Agreed.
If I had to put money on it, that's a physical.
Wow.
Maybe.
Yeah.
That is going to be an interesting story to follow. I don't know what's going to happen.
Hendrickson is still out there too now, right?
Yeah, Trey Hendrickson's still there.
So you have Hendrickson and you have Crosby still on the market.
Question for you, Phil. We didn't talk about Tua today, and that's weird. The fit in Atlanta, I actually like it.
Yeah, Tua in a dome is going to help him. You know, I worry about him being on a lot of turf fields, though, with his concussion history. I hope he stays healthy. You know, those wide receivers are used to catching left-handed balls too. So, I hope that whatever was going on with him that made him kind of lose the strength in his arm, I hope he gets that figured out, for his sake.
That would be millions of dollars, millions upon millions upon millions.
It's called getting the bag.
Yeah. Eric's favorite thing to say is getting the bag, and yes, that is getting the bag and some. And sometimes
and then he was like, maybe I'll skip this workout, maybe I'll skip that workout.
Getting the bag coupled with finding out that yachts are really fun. Kind of.
No, it's crazy. Sources say, and a source close to the situation, that he walked into the facility at like 2:45.
Yeah,
this year.
That is nuts. And that's somebody that I have trust and faith in. Yeah, that's nuts. Yeah, I mean, look, he was in his honeymoon phase of getting paid and overcoming a lot of obstacles, and it sucks for us, but hopefully he learned from it. He looks super thin right now. I've seen some videos on Instagram from his birthday, and he's on the hibachi grill and shit. So, I mean, hopefully, he's feeling good now. He kind of had one of those wake up moments. His time was always going to be over in Miami, regardless whether he had a bounce back or not. Just
Now, do you think that was because of McDaniel and his kind of coaching style and kind of being more laid back and player centric and like, oh, you guys, just take care of yourselves and make sure you're doing the right things instead of having a coach there going, why are you not here on time? Why are you not doing what you're supposed to be doing, leading the team, things like that?
I think it's deeper than that. I won't get into too much information, but coming from a family where you were, your dad was the ringleader, and now you're trying to make your own life for yourself. Sometimes you take a year and where you go, you know what, screw everybody, I'm going to worry about me and my family right now, and I don't want anybody to train with, I don't want to deal with anybody. And he's growing up as a man, he's got a couple kids now, and some of those variables change people in the off season, right? The Samoan culture is family first and his kids first, and maybe he's being a father and he's putting that time in as a father and he's not training. Who knows? There's a lot of things that could be. I don't think McDaniel had anything to do with it, though. I think McDaniel did want what's best for the team, and people have come out and said that his coaching style just did not work, and that's okay. But as far as training in the offseason, no. I think Tua just didn't train in the offseason. That's it. It's just as simple as that.
I think it's fair to say, and I think it's safe to say, even, you take away like the personality stuff from it. Like we saw when Tua was physically at his peak, and even just, sources close to the podcast, very trusted sources, we knew Tua's training regimen in 2020, the 2022 offseason, 2023 offseason, he was up 5 a.m., 3 hours a day, 6 days a week, just to be at that baseline of that 2023 level where he's just edging into that top 5, 6, 7 conversation of quarterback. And I mean, if you cut out 1 or 2 of those days, it's going to affect you. But when you just cut all of that out, I mean, we saw the product that was on the field. And I just feel like physiologically Tua has that body type where, you have to maintain that at that high level. There's some guys can get away with it, some guys can't. And Tua's one of the guys, unfortunately, you can't get away with taking an offseason off the way that he did. I'm sure he was there for the mandatory reports and stuff like that, but a couple dumbbells and treadmill sessions 3 days a week isn't really going to set you up for success. And we did see, even though he looked heavy out there on the field in 2023, that was the strongest that I think he's ever been in his football career, even after that hip injury. And it's just after that, we physically saw the product on the field. The balls were coming out slower, mobility. That took the
ball speed starts with mobility, your hips, right? You got to be able to flip the hips, and he just couldn't anymore.
Yeah. So
another thing, bro, Ghost, another thing to think about, and I just came up with this, is, man, he's been through so much.
Sure.
This was an off season where he was like, you know what, man, I don't have to worry about my health. Like, I'm healthy right now. Like, let me take a deep breath. I mean, I could have been it too. Not that he should have done that, right? I'm not saying it was okay, but I'm just kind of trying to get into the mind frame of like what could it have been to make him kind of hit that brake a little bit and be like, all right, I'm good right now.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a gas pedal. I mean, as a professional athlete, like that's a tough schedule. And then, both of you just had newborns, it's 5 a.m., 6 days a week, 3 hours a day in the morning from 5 a.m. to 7 a.m., 8 a.m. It's like, that's go time as dad,
No, you don't use the kids as a crutch. I'm in the gym at 5 a.m. every day. Like, fuck that. I'm not a pro athlete.
I'm in the gym. But I'm just saying, like,
I love how Eric took that personal, like it was a jab at him.
I took that personally.
But not everything's about you, Eric.
No, I took that very personally. Like, that's so ridiculous. You don't use your kids as a scapegoat. That's ridiculous.
I'm not saying he did. I'm just saying physically, he was the kind of guy that needed to be in that gym 6 days a week, 3 hours a day to be at that baseline of that top 6, 7, 5 quarterback.
I'm going to say the dive bar wishes him the best.
All history now.
No hard feelings.
Yeah, we're on. We're on to Buffalo.
Phil, the chat has asked maybe 3 to 5 times tonight, and I even seen it, I think, on X post. what do you do as a hobby? People want to know, what does Phil Dillingham do for fun?
And tell
I
the
watch
people
tape.
your process. Tell them your process. 'cause
I
you
watch
also look
tape.
at backstage.
Some people watch comedies and stuff like that, and I'll pop on and just start watching players and things like that, because there are certain shows I'll watch with my wife and stuff, but most of that stuff bores me, so I'll put on, like, when we get off here, I'll probably go watch. I'm gonna go watch that USC defensive end a little bit closer to see if I'm missing anything. So probably.
How do you know? Like, how do you pick like which players to like jump to? Like, do you just like you're watching a certain game and somebody stands out, and then you'll go to watch their tape, or like how do you kind of like bounce around?
Yeah, usually what I'll do is I'll have like a list of players that impressed me that did come out in the draft this year, and I'll kind of put them to the side. And there's certain rankings out there and things like that I kind of look at to see, judge who other people are kind of looking at, and all the way from who the best freshmen of this year were. You kind of put them in a pile, and you're like, okay, in 3 years I'm going to go back to them and see how they developed and things like that, and then you just start ticking them off the list. And I'll try to watch every game that I can find on them, and then just every play after play after play after play. So Quentin Nelson was my favorite person I ever evaluated, because every week when their game was over on Sundays, I would put it on and I would watch it, and it'd be hard to find him lose a rep in a game, much less a few.
Yeah.
Are there any guys out there in this draft that are like Quentin Nelson?
No.
Who's your favorite prospect in the draft this year?
My favorite one? Bailey.
Okay, Jake Bailey, yeah.
Jake Bailey.
David.
Oh, God.
We also need a punter, by the way, boys. Don't forget.
Speaking of Jake
Bailey, we don't have a punter.
That's fair.
So, Bailey, I just think if you could plug somebody into being defensive rookie of the year, I think he's going to be it, because his production and the violence he plays with, and at his size, the way he can set an edge, he is as good a run defender as he is a pass rusher, and that's kind of overlooked. But when you watch him, I mean, he plays violent all the time. There's no plays off. Yeah. You don't see him jogging around like Woods from Clemson. No offense to him, but
he had a bad year.
He is all gas all the time. So that's who my favorite.
And you should see his coffin corner.
Bailey, the punter.
Yeah. Well, that was for Ghost.
David Bailey. My bad, everybody.
Oh, speaking of punters, there's two coming out that are going to be very good, since we don't have one now. So the kid from Michigan State, and the other one is from, was he from Georgia? They were both at the Senior Bowl, and man, it was windy and cold, and one of them kicked it like 75 yards one time on one of their punts.
Jeez Louise.
So I think it might have been the Michigan State kid. I'll have to go back and look at my notes, but in that kind of wind, I was like, wow, because that ball had to be hard as a rock.
So it does look like Mac Crosby had something to do with medical.
Oh.
I mean, that makes more sense.
If the Ravens said no, like, he obviously came in for a physical, and like, we're not. This is
the final
walkthrough of the house before closing, and they're like, what the hell is this?
And boys, before we get off, Phil kind of inspired me to do this. So his pick for defensive or for rookie of the year is obviously Jake Bailey. So I'm going to go with, I think it's going to be Sonny Styles.
Yeah.
That's my guy.
That's a good choice.
Also, if Sonny Styles is there at 11, I'm also sprinting.
I think he's a freak.
Yes.
And I think that he could change the defense immediately. He's a day one starter, and he's a bad boy. And I feel like the family genes are literally insane.
He'll be gone before 11, though. So we.
Oh, heck yeah! But that's my guy. I think
he's linebacker before 11 is it may be, but he might make it to us.
In this draft, I think it's possible.
Yeah. Well, Phil, possible. Dude, really, really appreciate you coming in tonight. I don't know if you know, but Bobby already texted me on the side, because Bobby's always trying to sell. We're going to be doing live draft coverage. Would love to have you back on for the draft.
Sure.
Go over picks as they come in. We're going to have a lot of fun with that. Try to be as interactive as possible. So Be on the lookout. Phil's going to be definitely coming to slide back on your family now, brother. Really, really appreciate you.
Hey, thank
Do
you guys.
not
Appreciate
forget
it.
to like and subscribe. Please, everybody. We're trying to grow this page. The boys are grinding. We got a lot of stuff coming up for you.
Yep.
And shout out Bobby on the cruise right now.
Shout out, Bob.
And also make sure you give Phil a follow because he's putting out great content. So make sure you're following
the best
him.
content.
Thank you.
Yeah, Phil. Like I said, I thought Phil was in the football world this whole time.
Same.
Yeah.
I thought
Just
you were
been
a
trying
scout,
to fix
dude.
the Dolphins for a long time. So
Haven't we all, brother? Haven't we all?
exactly.
All right, Phil, we appreciate the time.
Thanks,
we appreciate chat as always. That's Phil's handle there. Go make sure you give him a follow, like and subscribe, the page per usual. If you can hype the video after the fact, we're going to post it all over the timeline. That really helps. But I guess until next time, boys, fins up.